Yikes.
And in 3, 2, 1, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a very special and spooky episode of the Prehistoric Podcast, episode 80, our Halloween extravaganza. As always, I'm one of your hosts, the transvestite, non-binary,
gender non-binary,
witch.
sexy witch.
Gender non-binary, sexy witch, Francois the Nation.
I'm a pirate.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
And I am Ian McDermott.
I think you're more like Freddie Mercury if he was a gladiator.
Oh yeah, I'm Freddie Mercury the Gladiator. If you can't see from your perspective, I have a great duster glued on to my mask, growing out of my mask.
Plus you're wearing the AIDS color, which works too.
What the hell are you talking about? Freddie didn't have AIDS.
Freddie Mercury?
Yeah, he was amazing.
He died of AIDS.
But he was amazing.
He was amazing.
And he also died of AIDS.
Well, that's disputed.
How old was Freddie Mercury when he died? I didn't know.
Not very old.
His 30s?
No, I think, well, maybe.
He had a great duster.
Early or late.
The great gay duster, they called him. So,
Why don't we tell everyone what we're drinking and fill our mugs up here?
because these two have a problem with alcohol.
I
we
don't
drink.
at all.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit.
Yes, we do.
It's only Francois who's the problem.
It might take me a little longer than I'm just going to fill that like that.
Can you fill both mine up, please?
Yeah.
I'm double fisting goblets.
Ooh, it's
For
fucking...
all of my.
So we're drinking
all of my identities need a goblet.
We're drinking a mixture of...
One for the female side, one for the male side.
Whoa.
I thought that's the thing, though. There's more than that.
He's a twin spirit. We're drinking a mixture of pineapple, cranberry, apple cider,
No, stone fruit
Vodka.
cider.
stone fruit vodka.
I haven't tasted this yet.
Well, it's just like they're all
Oh.
apple cider.
This is
Like
going to be
it's
tough
just
to
a
drink
stone
with his
fruit.
mustache.
Now, as you can
It's
tell,
like it does taste like kind of like a Jolly
Rugler?
Starburst. It tastes like Starburst.
Now, as you can tell,
Oh, yeah.
Francois has the mustache of a famous man from history.
Famous
New York
for-
dictator Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin.
Famous for moving many people.
Yeah. From one place to another place.
In their life.
Yeah.
Both
Metaphorically.
figuratively and literally.
In their life.
What was that thing I wanted to talk about at the liquor store in the podcast?
I don't recall.
Fuck.
The Great Dictator.
The question, is a gourd a pumpkin? Yes, it is. You'll
It's a
see it on our
squash.
table today.
It's a
That's not a
squash.
squash. It's a decorative
No,
gourd.
a pumpkin
A
is
gourd.
a type of gourd, isn't it?
Oh, you might be right. You may be
A
right.
pumpkin is a type of gourd. Gourds are like a group of...
Gourd is separate from squash. You're right.
Right, and gourd also works at GM and Swift-Current.
Gourd just died. Rest in peace.
Yes.
A Canadian
I don't think I can...
icon. Gord Downey.
Do you have any straws here?
Gord Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Gourd.
The brother,
to you.
The brother of Gord.
Here's
of
to
Robert
you.
Downey Jr.
Here's
Gord.
to you, Mrs. Robin. This is called a spooky. Spooky.
Spectacular.
Prehistoric spooky.
No. This is not my recipe. This is called spooky.
I like that. Just that. This is spooky.
It's spooky.
That's it.
Anyway,
That's
so today on the
spooky.
podcast we're going to talk a little bit about age-appropriate activities and whether or
What does
not
that mean?
whether or not your children should be having birthdays after the age of 8. Because my parents felt that you shouldn't.
I think I can I sum up your philosophy as you said it to me?
Sure.
Christmas is for children, and birthdays are for even smaller children.
So,
And what constitutes a child is the other thing.
well,
Like
Can you lift a shovel?
It's like, if you can lift a shovel, are you now a man?
If you can feasibly work at least 8 hours a day,
The big thing for me
I
is...
don't like...
The big thing for me is... There comes a time when you only have a birthday for when you turn 8 and no other time that you become a man.
Yeah, but that 8th birthday was probably a fucking hum...
It was. I had a whole bunch of friends over, but I did only have an 8th birthday party.
The only real birthday party I ever... Like, I don't know. I had a lot of shitty birthday parties. And then I had one really great one when I was 11 where a bunch of friends came over and stuff. That's the only, like, really good one I had. And then when I was, like, really small, like 5 or 6... That's different. When I was a child... When I was 5 or 6, we used to go to the aquatic center in Swift Current and have it at the pool. And then we'd go to Boston Pizza, Bugs and Cheese. That was really good. So yeah, I mean, like, I think I had...
It's so sad. Like,
what do you mean?
It's like, no, like, sorry, not you, Brad. I only had an 8th birthday party. That's like we wonder why he has a heart of ice and doesn't enjoy things or get excited by anything that happens.
Honestly, my 8th birthday was awesome. I invited like a couple of friends out and they were there for like at least an hour and a half.
And you guys got wasted.
Yeah. We got chocolate wasted.
It's funny.
And then my sister, funny enough, who was raised by my mother, same person obviously, I stayed at her house for my 13th, like the year I was 13 for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched Sleepy Hollow, Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and she said, like, what time do you want to go trick-or-treating? And I was like, what? I'm like, I'm not allowed. And she's like, what do you mean? It's like, Mom and Dad haven't let me trick-or-treat in 2 years. And it's like, oh, okay.
That's so funny.
Like, the year I turned 11, my mom and dad were like, listen, like, you can go out for a little bit this year with a pillowcase, and then that's it. We're done with this.
I think I trick-or-treated until I was 13 or 14.
I love how much your parents fucking hate your guts.
I think birthdays are really nice. I think that just like acknowledging a person once a year is nice.
It is. Now, like, I have like a psychosis, like I feel uncomfortable. I don't like talking about it.
Uh-huh.
So like, I think it's really interesting how when you become an adult, your birthday, it's less about other people doing stuff for you and more about you gathering people to drink. It's like,
I mean, there are people who don't drink.
Well, no, but I mean, I think that's a minority of people. But even if it's not involved drinking, it's usually either you have an intimate, like, you go for dinner with your family and it's like, that's it.
Yeah.
Or it's entirely about, like, you having a party. It's like you throwing your own party.
Right.
My 20... Okay, when was the last year I was in Vancouver? How old was I? 20 or 21? Can't remember. 20th or 21st birthday. My parents and my older sister...
20th, 2013 was your last birthday there.
So yeah, 20. When I turned 20, my parents and my older sister came down to celebrate with me. My parents asked me, like, where do you want to eat? I'm like, this place. My dad's like, nah, that's shit, we're going to eat here. And then we went and ate at the seafood place. And I don't like seafood.
Yeah, I like that.
How was that one? That was like good.
Like, I hate that, what you're saying.
Happy birthday, son.
I hate what you're saying.
Does it upset you?
No, he said that.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to hear, and he's like, no,
It's like,
I hate what you're
It's your
saying.
birthday, where do you want to eat?
Here.
I'd like to eat here. No, we're not eating there. We're actually going to eat here.
Yeah.
If you had said the place that he wanted to go, he might not even have gone there.
Yeah, I might have chosen a different seafood place. The thing is, like, it have to be seafood, and the man knows I don't like seafood. Like, he's known for all of my life that I don't like seafood. I think I got an okay steak though.
It's just there comes a time when you move out of your mother's house in Regina, you move to the farm, your parents sit you down and say,
Listen,
the games are over.
We know you just graduated kindergarten. It's time to really fucking buckle down and start thinking about your future, where your career is heading, and getting to fucking work.
Because I think, honestly, I remember a situation where my sister was like, oh, like, what's Santa Claus bringing you this year? And Mom and Dad are like, whoa, cut that shit out. We don't, that Santa ain't real, buddy. And he's not bringing you nothing. So, let's cut that.
Santa ain't bringing you nothing. Your mother and I may buy you one modest gift. But other than that, don't expect nothing.
No, they were good gifts.
It's like from Gary and Karen with the price receipt. It's like
for later reimbursement.
with an invoice.
And the thing is, and like you need to keep it up with inflation. Like it needs to be more.
And interest.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
interest.
they didn't charge him interest for the first whole month,
Yeah.
and then after that, the interest.
There was a
You got a
month-long
whole month to
gratis
pay them
period
back.
for no charge.
Yeah.
Hi,
You fucking idiot.
Christmas loan.
and they chose what they bought.
Yeah. No, it was just, well, we don't have time for that.
No, I just had a wonderfully magical, love childhood. Birthdays were always just, what do you want to do on your birthday? What would you like for dinner? What would you like to do? And like, whatever I wanted, within reason. Like I always had friends over, or like we did laser tag. We would go. The thing is, I had so many good birthdays and good birthday parties I don't even really remember.
They were so good.
They were just all good. I never had really a bad birthday. Until my dad. After my dad died, I just stopped celebrating though. That's when I just was like, done with that.
Yeah, done with that. Game's over.
Yeah, I'm an adult now.
Yeah.
You're not really an adult until
your parents move to South Africa.
until a parent dies. Yeah.
Now
Just to go really fucking dark quick, and then we'll jump away.
now we'll jump away from only just but a moment to a time when we weren't sure if the president was going to live,
Brock?
because recently the documents of JFK's assassination from the CIA and the FBI have been released.
Oh, they knew he was dead right when that bullet hit his skull.
I actually haven't looked too much into that, but apparently there's still some stuff that they're holding back.
Yes, they're going to hold back. Trump is going to hold back at the request of the CIA some documentation for another 6 months, the maximum he can do.
I have a feeling that that's just because it compromises the CIA.
Oh yeah, definitely. So you got to try and like burn and shred some more stuff. They're like,
CIA haven't covered they're just always involved in weird, shitty stuff all the time. They can't the whistleblower thing just ended, like that whole fucking thing.
well, and like
was the NSA?
whatever CFAP or whatever our thing,
CFAP?
CFAP or whatever our thing is called, our intelligence agency.
We have an intelligence agency. Oh, the Canadian one.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, not Prehistoric Productions.
I thought we like made something up.
Last week we put liquid paper on a bee.
It
died.
Intelligence.
Now, Andrew, why don't you tell us a little bit about your costume? Because it's an interesting take.
This was the cheapest pirate costume we could find.
And it's not really a costume at all.
It's more.
It's a children's
items.
eye patch handkerchief.
It's a do-rag. It's a pirate
I don't know if do-rag is the politically correct term.
Do-rag.
bandana. Head. It's not a. It's like it's
It's
not a true do-rag.
It's a non-religious, spiritualized
Halloween disguise.
no. Holiday headdress.
Holiday disguise.
Are pirates a culture?
Oh yeah,
That's the thing. All the costumes at Dollarama weren't costumes. They were
disguise.
Halloween disguises.
Disguise. Like girls' tutu. That was like a Halloween disguise.
It's obviously because they bought their stuff from China and they mistranslated.
Do you want to disguise yourself as a child?
No, you can't do that.
You can't?
I'll tell you that the wonder that a child exudes is something that can't be replicated.
You wouldn't know much about that. Seeing as
I've seen children.
Yeah.
like a lot of that is like based on your own experience and like being able to connect with that. Your own experience is like pretty much like, yeah, you don't get to do that thing anymore. And like, hey, it's like 5 a.m. It's like, yeah, you got school in a couple hours. Time to go out and shovel grain.
I always wondered how Santa was going to get down the chimney if he wasn't real. You know? I always said that. How will Santa get down the chimney if he doesn't exist?
It'd be tough.
For a
Or
non-existent
really easy.
entity.
I don't know. It's one of the two. It's either real easy if you don't exist or real tough.
Now, let's all go through the group, and if we have any embarrassing stories about us ourselves or a friend who believed in Santa for a little too long.
I can't think of any. I can't even remember the period in which that changed at all.
No, I don't really remember when I stopped believing in Santa.
I'm pretty sure that I have a couple of friends who may or may not be related from the community in which I attended school that might have believed in Santa a little longer than everyone else.
Yeah, they might. There might be one or two of them that still
It's funny because
Like they're like, nobody's really been to the North Pole. We don't know if there's not a house there.
my family now, like for many years, you just use Santa as a way to buy gifts for ourselves and then put them under the tree. So it's like the one year my mom bought herself like an iPod Nano and put it under the tree to Jane from Santa. And so that kind of started a tradition where it's like you go out and bought something for yourself that you wanted and then wrapped it and put it under the tree. And it's like, oh, Santa knew just what I wanted. And unwrap it on
Like a
Christmas
pack
morning.
of smokes or a bottle of rye.
I mean, in your household, perhaps, yeah.
No. Honestly, my house is big gift territory. Like, the family's so
like
big.
Your parents would buy you fresh work boots every Christmas.
Like, we have 2 Christmas trees.
In your house?
Yeah, because we have, like, the Christmas tree for the adults and the Christmas tree for the children because
Oh, that makes sense.
the presents got to be so much that you couldn't get within, like, 12 feet of the tree. But
Man, those were exciting days way back in the day.
I remember,
Seeing
like,
a tree with a bunch of presents on
I
it.
remember how disappointed in Christmas I got, like, when I turned, like, 12 or 13 or maybe 14 maybe. And my parents were like, what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, just some socks and whatever. So I just hate this now. Like, I don't like it.
I got some good Christmas presents. I got, remember I got this really big ass Lego helicopter that was like
We should save this for
1,500 pieces.
the podcasts that we have upcoming to film where they're about Christmas.
I think we're going to have lots to talk about.
I think let's talk about Halloween. Let's talk about Halloweens and of Halloween's past. And did you have any notable experiences? I mean, you didn't because you only
No, I had
trick-or-treated.
adult Halloweens that were interesting.
No, we used to
Sure.
whip around and put tires in front of shit, and I remember those days.
Because I also stopped trick-or-treating. I was a year later than you. Like when I was 12, I stopped trick-or-treating. And then the year after that, I set up in front of the door.
Why would you quit?
Because I don't know. I just didn't feel like doing it anymore.
Because Jane sometimes asks, she's like, "Are you trick or treating this year?"
No.
Does she still do that?
She would be so happy if I did.
Would she go out with you if you asked?
Probably. I don't know.
You and Jane should go out trick or treating.
I just hate
And
dressing
Jane
up.
says, "I'm his mom."
He's a pirate.
I could pretend to be retarded.
Jeez, that would be very sweet.
Okay, here's a funny thing. So when I was, whatever the last year I trick-or-treated, like 11 or 12 or something, my costume was a Scream. What was a Scream?
Oh, you
Ghostface.
had that for like 5 years, didn't you?
Yeah.
So luckily it was a big Scream.
Blake Johnson too also was Ghostface for like 6 years running.
So I just bought one. I had like one of those. It was a big drape thing when I started, and then I wore it right up until grade 9, like at Hazlitt. So like for 5 years, I would Scream every single year, and like I was SRC vice president in grade 9, like of the whole school, like high school. It's like you have to wear a costume, so I wore Scream every year, and like it was awful. This little mask with these fucking pinholes, and then the mouth hole was like the big Scream mouth with just like a little breathing hole cut in it. And obviously the costume got quite tight for a 15-year-old boy.
That's one thing I never had. I never had good Halloween costumes. I always totally just forgot about getting one until the day of, and then I would whip together something stupid.
I just always like was such an obstinate cunt, especially Luther. It's like, what are you dressed up? It's like, I'm dressed up as me, so fuck off.
It's like Jim from The Office.
I really wish there was like, I want to do offensive Halloween costume. If I was going to dress up, I was going to do something offensive. Like this year, I wanted to get a shirt that says, "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas,"
Jeez.
and then do a bunch of blood, like bullet holes all over myself. See how many people I can just fucking piss off.
Wow.
That's like those people who dressed up in the Boston bombing things for Halloween, and everybody tore them to shreds on social media.
I see again, like, no one's doing that to not be offensive and funny. And like, if you don't find that funny, and you find that offensive, that's totally fine. But I think part of Halloween, especially adult Halloween, is like coming up with an edgy, funny costume. There's a great video I saw where it's like someone comes dressed to a party as ISIS, and everyone's like, "That's fucking offensive," and then it zooms out and it's like a guy dressed as a priest with like an altar boy blowing him, and like Yeah, that's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And it's like a guy dressed as a giant penis. And it's like all these people who are like, it's like, oh, this is acceptable, normal offensive, but this, for whatever reason, this is not acceptable for this year. It's like, if you give it enough time, it'll be acceptable, but not now.
Not now.
So, well, I'm not like necessarily encouraging people to like go out of their way to like offend people unless that's like your jam.
Like doing blackface.
Like that's where I would draw the line. Like that's just like, it's not funny. Also, like that's just offensive. Like if you're a little bit clever with it, I think you should get a pass.
Right.
But like just doing like, oh, I'm gonna like blatantly do something that's blatantly racist, and I know it's gonna be offensive to get a rise out of people. Like that's just not clever.
No.
Like the Boston bombing thing is at least like, that's fucking terrible, but at least it's like, it takes you a second. Like you have to think about it, and there's something clever about
I
it.
love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
that was one too many.
I love the Boston bombing.
I don't know. Like I haven't done like a Halloween thing. I haven't dressed up for Halloween. This is like the first time I've dressed up for Halloween. Oh, I guess I kind of dressed up last year.
You did. You guys dressed up big time.
Yeah.
It was cute.
Oh yeah, you guys were
Andrew's
the
exterminator, and Lexi
Drew
was
the
a cat,
mouse,
and Drew was a mouse.
Yeah, right. Lexi was a cat.
And
No,
we
that
made-
was adorable.
Then we made Drew a little mouse trap for the wagon.
Yeah, that was fucking
Oh,
adorable.
I made it for the wagon. Yeah.
What?
Wet thighs. Spilt a little bit.
Your thighs are wet?
Oh,
You have sticky thighs, hey? Sticky sweet thighs.
yuck.
Yum. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I've got frown in my mind. Okay, so, no. Open sesame. Thank you. Now, you may be wondering, what's with Andrew's costume?
I know, my costume is so crazy and weird.
You might be wondering, Fran and I have been...
This is bullshit. You have to keep your fucking mask on if I have to keep this stupid goddamn eye patch on.
Yeah, but
you fucking bastard.
The eye patch doesn't stop you from... I get sweaty in
Oh, yeah.
the drink.
You fucking insist on me wearing a stupid fucking eye patch.
Yeah, but
So
then you have no costume at all.
Yeah, I do
At
have
least I still have a red shirt on. Like, even if I take the mask off, I still have the red shirt on. Like, if you take the eye patch off, all you have is the earring and the bandana. If I take the mask off, then I still at least have my red shirt.
That is like most of the costume.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck is your problem?
We went to go buy costumes, and Brad kept repeating very loudly in the Dollarama that his costume would be, for my costume, I'm going to put a ring around my cock and balls. And he kept saying it
I did say that a lot of
a
times.
bunch of times, very loudly in the store, mostly
Wait, where did you
populated by
guys go
mothers and
for this
children.
stuff?
Dollarama, dollar store.
You guys should have went to that dedicated Halloween store in 8th where that fucking Olaf stands all the time with that damn sign. Fuck, is that scary?
What?
There's a guy dressed up as Olaf, but it's like a full
What's
adult,
Olaf?
like the snowman from Frozen.
It's
And
terrifying.
it's like a full adult man suit, and it's this like haunting visage of this snowman with unblinking eyes and this smile that could fucking pierce through your spirit. It's awful. He's out there until like 8 p.m. every night, so it's like dark, and you fucking your headlights just see this thing on the side of the road. It's fucked up. I hate it.
I'm Pennywise,
I
dancing clown.
I'd love
I'd see that.
nothing more than to go out with a group of friends in a stupid mood and say borderline really offensive shit just a little bit too loud in groups of people.
You do.
In shopping places.
Or just like
Or
you.
just, and the thing is, when you say that, you imply that everyone is doing that, but it's just you.
Yeah, it's just me.
Like it's not like everyone in the group is saying ridiculous. It's like you were just like. I remember one time, like, and I really just don't get embarrassed anymore because of Brad, and I know that's part of your intention, but like even like when I was in university, that one time we went to the grocery store and this like gentleman very lightly brushed into Brad, and he just kept repeating very loudly, and I went fully despondent, like pretended I didn't even know who he was, and like quickly went to the cashier, but he just kept saying, I could have lit that old cunt up. He was shouting it. It was to the point where he started just saying it loudly, and then you were shouting it, and people were visibly uncomfortable. Like, there were mothers and children who were obviously very uncomfortable with what you were saying, and you were standing beside me, pretending I don't know who you are. Yeah, I should have lit that old cunt up. And I wouldn't say anything. Yeah, I should have lit that old cunt up. And you just kept repeating it.
I love it. I just kept, at the RM, I just kept saying my costume is gonna be
a ring. I'm gonna put a ring around my cock and balls.
I think it's so funny.
Imagine if you did that to like your partner, and it's like, "Hey, I dressed up for Halloween. I have a ring around my cock and balls." And it's like, "What? I dressed up.
I put a ring.
Put on this sexy nurse outfit. I dressed up. You should too."
I put a ring around my cock and balls. Oh my God!
You stopped, funny. But like at first I'm like, "Oh God, it's another one of those times." What was the other really notable one?
Ugh.
I know lots of them in South Animal and Regina.
Oh God,
the worst
that
one wasn't
so
even in like
bad.
a public space. The worst one ever was when you got canned that one night. You came home.
Oh my God.
And then you opened the door, went out on the porch, and proceeded to yell racial slurs as loud as you could into our neighborhood. I think it was you and Kelsey.
You and Kelsey were at the Christmas party.
Yeah, you guys got...
It started, I picked you up, and then you're like, we need to go to McDonald's. And you just kept shouting, "Do you have crystal meth? Can I buy some meth from you? Do you guys sell crystal meth here?" And you kept shouting it while we were ordering, and then while we were picking the food up. And then when no one responded, you just you were yelling out pretty loudly. Then you turned and sounded genuine, but you were like, "Fuck you!" as we were driving away. I wasn't sure if you were referring to me or the McDonald's employees.
Probably the employee.
And then we get back to the house, and then you're sitting there and you're just like, "I'm gonna try to wake these people." I can't remember what your intention was. But you just kept shouting every racial slur in the book out into the street.
Alcohol does.
And that was and it was this weird. It's this odd thing because it's because once again, if you're yelling cock and balls or whatever, and it's whatever. But it's when you're in a neighborhood yelling racial slurs when there's a
tapestry of history,
a mosaic of different cultures in our neighborhood. It's you want to be this isn't this is gonna get us in trouble, but you're if you say anything, he will just get louder and more. So it's you have to kind of just sit there and take it because it's if you say anything, he's just gonna get
it will
more,
escalate.
Yeah.
Because he might if you say anything, he might go from shouting it out the door to standing in the middle of the street saying, "I live
starts knocking on doors.
I live at 407 and I'm shouting these things at you."
At you.
That was right after we moved into this place. So.
Shortly after, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a while ago. Yeah.
I think the neighborhood's really, really taken to us now, though.
We're very conscientious neighbors. I mean, nobody would really know. You're an incredibly conscientious neighbor. You mow other people's lawns for hell's sake. So yeah, I don't know. We always give lots of cans to all the bottle drives.
Yeah, I give money to kids.
Yeah, we always buy the chocolate and all the shit.
Remember at Luther how we weren't allowed to sign out for Halloween? We just weren't allowed. You weren't allowed to go anywhere. You had to stay at school.
You had to stay at school at Halloween.
And they always had this fucking gay. Oh, excuse me. This very lame thing. Oh, that's ableist. I don't want to say stupid because that's offensive to people who are low intelligence. They had this very bad thing.
But bad and good. What is bad?
They had this thing that I personally did not care for.
It's way worse the way you do it than if you were to just say it.
Yes, that would be the point.
That's terrible.
Don't be an ableist. Anyway, Andrew, go ahead.
Yes, I'm not going to point out what I'm doing because people will either get it or they won't. They had these series of lame activities. I keep saying lame. These bad activities that weren't fun.
Activities that you personally did not find encouraging or motivating.
Personally not appealing to you.
Personally, these activities personally did not appeal to me. They did the root beer chug-a-lug and bobbing for apples and all that kind of not fun in my personal opinion stuff.
A bunch of crap. We did bobbing for apples and kissing for donuts and doing all that kind of stuff.
Oh my goodness! Just because you
Kissing
said
for
bobbing for
donuts.
apples, I have to call this out because it is one of the best jokes The Office ever did. They have the character Erin, and they have like a Halloween party, and they have like a bobbing for apples dish.
Yeah.
And it's like she's like, I'm gonna go bobbing for apples. Anyway, she puts her head in the water, and it's like a minute passes, a minute 30, like 2 minutes, and they're like, what the fuck is she doing? And they like pull her out. And she's like, I ate 3 whole apples. She's on the game.
To eat as many apples.
It's so good. She's like, I ate 3 of them. So
Speaking
good.
of, like you said, kissing of donuts, it reminds me of stories from university.
Getting hair in my esophagus.
There was this guy, it was his birthday, and he was in the concourse, this atrium area. There's all these tables, everyone would sit there and like study or eat or whatever. And his friends came in, and they bought a big fucking dildo and a bunch of donuts, and they suction cupped the dildo to the table and put donuts all up the dildo, and he had to eat the donuts off the dildo.
That would
in
be a
front of
good like
everybody.
birthday party thing.
Yeah. It was really funny to watch.
I'm thinking of a funny scene for a short or something. Like like you know how like Michael in The Office, he always like plans things for himself, kind of,
Like
and
his
then
own
he
parties.
yeah, like that kind of thing. You have that sort of same thing, but a guy who plans his own birthday party stuff, and he like gets stuff like a dildo, and he puts dildo. But he's like, I have to eat the. Oh, this is so crazy, you guys!
It's like who can
It's in my mouth. Oh, yuck!
it's like the contest is who can put this dildo the furthest down their throat. Oh god, I got it all the way. Looks like I win.
Yeah, whoops. So crazy.
You guys are so gross for making me do this.
Now,
You don't say now and then don't say anything.
I do it lots.
You do.
Top him up. He's got a problem.
I don't know if I like this.
Why?
I do like it. I think
It's
you should
just.
you should decide that you do like it and keep drinking.
It might be. I don't know what kind of liquor's in it.
Vodka.
Vodka.
And malt beverage, malt cider.
I'm trying to think, cause like sometimes vodka gives me like a gut rot, and I think it's when
I think your guts are just fucked, and sometimes they rot and sometimes they don't. Just like
it's
mine.
with some sweet things.
Yeah.
Cause like Sprite, I like vodka Sprites. I do really well.
Well, then
And,
you
like,
do wonderfully on this.
Vodka
stuff.
orange juice, I do okay.
I'll top you up there, buddy.
Yeah.
This is just juice. Like it's not. There's nothing in here that's overly sugar. Well, the
Um,
pineapple juice is sugary, but other than that, it's not too bad.
No, and the
Oh.
goddamn cocktail.
Oh, we did get the cocktail. I thought that's right. We didn't get the juice. We got the cocktail.
Oh, we should have gotten some of that margarita mix while I was at Walmart.
Margarita mix?
For what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
were
have to
looking-
get tequila.
Huh? Well, I don't know. I just
Um,
said that. If that becomes a thing, this podcast ain't making it to 100. I quit.
What, saying and then stopping?
Yes, I quit.
Stop.
So, when...
Let's just sit in silence and drink for the rest of the podcast.
I don't know. Have I ever told the story? Have I ever told the story about me getting drunk at? I don't know. Was that Monster Mash when I smashed my nose in cup?
No, that was at your birthday party that one year.
No. It was definitely at a thing at Prairie Island Park. Did you guys have any big organized university parties, like school, like at a hall or a atrium, like a big event center?
No,
stuff?
no. Well, what we did was the school bar Wilfs would partner with other
What
clubs.
the fuck is a Wilf?
It's Wilfrid Laurier, so it's like Wilf.
Oh, I thought it was like a spin on the old MILF.
No,
Like a woman I'd like to fuck.
that works too.
Yeah.
There are many Wilfs out there. Anyways, most of them, in fact. So they would partner. It would be like a pub crawl type thing. Is usually how it would be. Where it would be like there's like the pre thing, and then you go to Rev was the club that people usually went to.
I only ever had one good pub crawl in my whole life.
I don't think I've ever actually.
And I
gone on one.
love the idea of a pub crawl.
I think it's a lot.
I think it's
do.
pub crawls are fun when you organize them yourself. It's like when you just plan to go to a bunch of different places. That's the most fun I've had. But when it's like an organized thing with like
you have to keep track of a bus, that's tough.
And if there's a couple hundred people,
Because if you go to the bathroom at the wrong time, you're fucked.
Yeah. Because there was a couple like there was a Christmas one that we went on as a house, and there was like the bunny hop, which was an Easter one we went on as a house, and it was okay, but like I hate the Ontario, like the university mindset that the mindset in the university I went to was very much like get really wasted before you go out to the bar, go out to the bar for an hour, and then that's your night.
Yeah.
And it was like pre-drink somewhere and then whatever. Then that's it.
I've talked about this before. Like, I tried to buy the guys Andrew lived with drinks at the bar, and the guy's like, "Why are you wasting money on us? Why aren't you buying drinks for chicks?" And I was like, I don't know. Like, you fucking idiot.
You should have sat them down and been like, "Okay, there's your problem right there.
How
how you don't get laid most of the time? That's why."
I was gonna say that example right there is the biggest. If I had one story to tell someone a story that described the difference between people from Ontario and people out west, that would be the story I would tell. Because it's like, it's because like, I don't think that many people get fucking laid off of buying someone a drink. Like, maybe it's an opener, maybe that's like your icebreaker type thing, like, can I buy you a drink? But like, that's not the sole thing that's getting you laid.
No.
So
No. This is what happens. Is like, the only person that I've ever really enjoyed clubbing with, I've told this story, but it's a buddy of mine from Vancouver's Mason, because we just get wasted and then we jump around and we be ridiculous, so it's fun. But I just remember, like, we would go out in Vancouver, and then there eventually at some point in the night there'd probably be like 10 women with a night that would come up and just like, "You should buy me a drink," and it's like, no, why the fuck would I buy you a drink? And like always, and it's like
I'm buying me a drink.
Yeah, it's like, why would I spend money on you when I could spend that money on me? Like, it was like, I remember we just made them, like, that was the thing. It was like trying to make it seem like the logic wasn't there, and they're thinking about it a little bit. But that's the thing, is like, I feel like that's most of guys who buy girls drinks. Like, I'm gonna wait till a girl comes up to me and asks me to buy her a drink, and then when I buy her that drink, she's totally gonna be into me. It's like, you fucking buffoon. You buffoon.
yeah. Plus, I think that whole thing kind of contributes to like there's like an entitlement there. It's like, oh, if I buy you a drink, then like I'm owed something.
Yeah.
I just don't subscribe to that at all. So it's like, if I'm buying people drinks, it's not because like I expect something. It's because like, hey, like, we're out together as a group, and I'm gonna like, I'll buy this round. Like, maybe you buy a round of shots, but it's fun for all of us to drink together. Not
Also, like, speaking of expectations like that, when I'm at a strip club, I expect touching. Like, I don't want not touching in particular. And I think, like, we have it wrong in Canada, you know what I mean? Where it's like, I don't expect a girl to sleep with you, buy a drink at the bar. But if I'm giving you $150, I want to be able to fondle you. That's the whole point.
Or in some people's case, way more. Way more.
yeah.
Sometimes you give a stripper some money. Sometimes you give her lots of money.
Sometimes you give her all the money you came out there with.
Sometimes you give her what some people consider a small fortune. I don't know.
Right. Not me.
We don't know anybody like that. It's just like we've seen it in media.
Yeah, like in the Hangover movie.
Or like Wolf of Wall Street, that kind of a thing.
Well, it's funny you brought up strip clubs because I have never been into that at all. Like even like just the idea of it. Like there's like a comic that I saw, like one of those, like, whatever. It's like, I'm lonely, I should go to the strip club. And then it's like, goes to the strip club.
Oh, that's
the
my
strip club.
favorite comic.
Now I'm horny and lonely. So like, that's always kind of been my mindset.
Ouch.
Then we ended up going to one when we were in Vancouver, and Brad, you said something to me that like kind of got me into it for the night, and you're like, just like pretend. Like it sounds obvious, like, but you're like, just pretend like you're into this. Like pretend like I can't remember exactly if you said role. There's something about like role play or something but ultimately it came down to like
It's a weird
fake it
thing.
till you make it. Ultimately, and
It's a weird thing. It's like, but if everybody's on the same understanding, it's like, I'm here with my money so that you'll take your clothes off. Then everybody, it's not like this weird like, do I give you money? No, when do you take your clothes off? It's like, it's very much a business transaction.
I mean, we should talk about that one that, after Suede left, kept texting him for weeks.
And is still texting.
Like, I wonder if that might be his
How
wife.
is Suede
it might be his
doing?
wife one day.
How's Suede doing with his knee? Is he on crutches? You have a big brace? What's
I
going
don't
on?
know. I actually haven't talked to him since he's been back to work, so.
Oh, yeah, but P don't care.
No, he nearly killed Suede and sent him back to work right away. So.
Oh, boy.
You get your legs wet again?
No, a little bit on my skirt this time.
And I'm not going as far to say like to turn a stripper into a prostitute. That's expensive. That can get expensive.
Whoa,
What do you mean to
we're
turn
not-
one into one? I don't understand.
Just like the ring of power can corrupt, so can money. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, you're saying everybody has their price?
Just like the ring of power can corrupt, so can money if you can.
Now we're getting into Harvey Weinstein territory. I don't like it.
Excuse me. Harvey Weinstein was on.
No.
Harvey Weinstein is
This
an
is with the
animal.
boss. Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, he was. Yeah,
People who pay strippers to take their clothes off are not animals.
that's not what you were saying.
That's not what you're saying.
You were venturing towards the realm of.
No. There's very much a difference. Like, I will give you X.
Propositioning. I guess it is different because like in no scenario there's no scenario really where she says no to that proposition and loses anything other than the opportunity for making the money you offered her.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the Harvey Weinstein thing, it's very much like
Career.
saying
and legacy.
no could lead to
Negative.
negative consequences. So it's like being forced to say yes as opposed to there's this thing you could choose to do and there's really not really any negative repercussions.
No, it's like either take my money or no.
Yeah.
Whereas like Harvey
It's
Weinstein's
still really
like,
gross. Like I wouldn't ever do like that's just is gross.
yeah, it's really gross. I'm just saying if you give a stripper enough money, she becomes a prostitute.
How would you know that?
Like if you
From personal experience or
No, I have never had sex with a stripper, but I know that you can. I think anybody knows that if you give a sex worker enough money. There's actually disgusting like
Wait, is a stripper a sex worker?
borderline?
I would say so. Their industry is sexual.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like in the
They're a sex worker
in the
like
CNN documentary style sex worker. Like I wouldn't use it like that.
they're a sex worker like a McDonald's employee.
Not
is
by
a
the
food
technical
service.
not
or
by
a-
the technical definition. No, because I
In
would
the
say
restaurant
I would say a
business.
stripper's not by the technical definition of sex worker.
I would just say taking all your clothes off and dancing is to sex as the 2 pieces of bread and the meat that they give you at McDonald's is to a meal of food.
Yeah.
A McDonald's hamburger is as close to food as stripping is to sex. It may be closer. Maybe the stripping is closer to sex than the cheeseburger is to food.
It's a real actual food.
Yeah. You don't think so?
No.
You think that the cheeseburger is so food?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what do you want from me?
Your body is unique in that it is capable of converting
Garbage.
cheeseburgers and Coca-Cola into energy.
I'm like a raccoon.
You know what
I mean-
actually would be a great side project for you? Eating garbage and then using a
Like actual
electricity
garbage out of a garbage can.
close to, but and then using a bicycle to generate electricity.
Eh.
Because then they would be converting garbage into electricity.
Oh, pure recycling. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. Yeah, if you pay me $50 an hour, I'd do that.
Like leftover cheeseburgers and fries and Cokes.
Oh yeah, I'd eat anything. I don't care.
No, I think you can't eat like aluminum foil.
Oh no, like I mean stuff that's digestible. Yeah, I'll eat anything. If you pay me $50 an hour, I'll eat anything and ride a bike.
Would
all
you
day.
would you eat a log of human shit for $50 an hour?
No, I feel like that would be counterintuitive.
Yeah, you're not getting any energy.
I aren't really getting any energy out of that.
Well, there's lots of animals who survive on second harvest.
Right. I feel like humans don't thrive on second harvest.
It would be more for the entertainment
I'll
value.
eat anything short of something rotting, human shit, and like vomit.
So like dog shit, you'd eat.
Okay, not any shit. Let's just throw shit out the window.
No, that's decompositional. We're not eating shit.
Yeah, so anything that's not decomposing, I'll eat. And then I'll ride a bicycle for $50 an hour.
There's an episode of It's Always Sunny with the cult. And like they're all trying, like Dee and Mac and Frank are like competing to see who can get these guys who believe in this cult that they created to do like the most intense thing. And the whole time Frank is like, oh, I'm gonna make them eat a shit sandwich. And
Was
by
that the one
end-
where it's like they have like the workout cult?
Yeah,
Where it's like it starts as
Ass Kickers United.
It
yeah.
starts as like a workout gym.
Well, no, it starts as a thing that Dennis started to keep Mac from eating his Thin Mints.
Okay, what's the logic behind the Thin Mints?
It's a newsletter, and he's like, the master's like the master, the
Right,
fitness master.
the
He's
fitness
like
master,
Thin
the
Mints.
master.
Thin Mints are detrimental to you achieving your perfect physical form.
Right.
So just
And
avoid,
it's like
avoid Thin Mints at all costs.
the episode begins with it seeming like it's this workout thing, and then it's this cult.
It quickly becomes a cult, and then D gets.
Oh yeah, because you're like the
yeah.
fitness master, but they refer to
Yeah.
him as the master.
And then D gets them to like fix up the apartment, and then like Dennis gets them to do something else, and then Frank gets one of them to eat a shit sandwich, and that's the whole thing. He's like the whole time he's like, I'm gonna make one of them eat a shit sandwich.
Now, on a darker note,
Oh God.
What?
we
Wait, what? Darker?
we often find ourselves watching or listening to footage of.
I don't know if we is the thing.
You're with us. It's playing over the loudspeaker.
I'm in the room, yeah.
We find ourselves listening to a lot of material involving cult leaders and the last moments of people's lives as they
Serial
gasp for air.
killers.
I'm pretty sure
Serial
that one
killers.
day that we spent listening to that, like, whatever fucking Jonestown massacre, and then we listened to the Heaven's Gate shit, I'm pretty sure that triggered a psycho break in me. Like, it was not good. Because that did line up right with when I was starting to feel not so good anymore.
Anyway, so we enjoy as a group listening to material involving
No!
serial killers.
False!
And,
We do not.
and cults in which the leader.
I do not.
Really, what Francois I think is trying to say is we like the final gasping moments.
Ugh.
No. That's a little bit extreme.
You love this beyond anyone else.
I find the psychology behind such things fascinating. Yes.
Okay, I want to hear Andrew's top 5 subject matter contents that you will listen to and watch, and then Fran is going to give Andrew's top 5.
No.
So you go ahead, or we'll just go just to Fran.
So what? Wait, like
Top 5 subject matter things, like if you're watching documentaries,
okay,
short
yeah.
clips.
I find like I don't know if these are separate, but like true crime / like serial killer stuff. I find really fascinating.
We'll just do 3.
Okay, so so that's a really broad category. So that's everything from like
Cold case files.
cold case files, like first 48.
Lots of people love that shit.
Whatever. Some people call it murder porn. I don't like. It's not anything to do with that. It's just I find really abnormal.
Like
extreme,
for you, the ejaculation is secondary.
No, fuck off. No, I find the psychology behind it really fascinating. Like, I'm like, it's so foreign to me. So it's like, how do these people get to this point that they're going to do this stuff? I also enjoy really like pimple popping and medical procedures. I find that stuff fucking fascinating. I've always found it fascinating. I went and saw my dad operate. I've always been fascinated by that kind of thing. There's something really satisfying about that.
But
me.
like,
I don't know why.
To expand upon like cysts and boils and lesions.
There's a whole community of people who are like, they call themselves poppers. I fall in there. I also just like watching surgeries. Like I find it like not like all the time and exclusively. The way we're phrasing this, it's like this is all he ever does. It's like that's not at all it. I find it fascinating.
I would like to mention that we have a YouTube channel, and there was a while when the only 2 suggested things on our YouTube channel was one, this fucked up thing YouTube channel that he subscribed to that's Caillou that does all this fucked up bullshit that I hated. And then the other one was pimple popping cyst bullshit that was
And Minecraft stuff.
And then Minecraft stuff. I don't know where the Minecraft
that was
stuff
we
from.
just got hacked early on.
But I mean, it's like, God, did I hate our YouTube channel.
Or our recommended stuff from YouTube.
Continue.
Officer Poop 249.
Oh,
This is also me predicting what Fran is going to say more than it necessarily is accurate.
Yeah.
So I said serial killer / true crime stuff.
Poppers.
Popping and surgeries in general.
Just popping.
It's also it's surgeries.
Yeah.
And it's like not just like whatever. It's just interesting. And then I don't know. Like third thing would be like comedy in general. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. Like
stand-up comedy, we'll say.
I get the parallels between the popping and the Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol, Paw Patrol, we're gonna fuck you with a Paw Patrol.
Well, it's Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol will be there on the double.
That's
Paw
what I
Patrol.
said.
Paw Patrol.
That's what I said.
Whenever you're in trouble.
That's what I
no
said.
No pups too big. No jobs too big. No pups too small. Paw Patrol. We're on a roll. Here we go. Paw Patrol.
It's really weird you just saying the same thing I just sang.
Yeah.
Okay, now go ahead, friend. What are Andrew's top threes?
He really enjoys podcasts like the Joe Rogan Experience and the Mother's House.
Yeah.
He enjoys adult funny cartoons like Rick and Morty, and Big Mouth was one we recently both enjoyed.
Fucking love
All three. I also watched it.
Oh, and you as well.
And you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a true crime
We
series.
all like the thing. That's never happened.
Well written, well acted drama crime series like Breaking Bad.
Like anti-hero stuff kind of thing. Yeah.
That kind of a thing.
Yeah. That's not. It's fun. That's so accurate. I thought you were going to be like, he likes jerking off to pimple videos. That's what Brad wanted you to say.
No,
you just said that.
I flushed you out.
No, I was like,
that's what he was going to say the whole time.
I was predicting what Fran was going to say.
Yeah, and we flushed you out.
Hey, don't we?
That's fine.
Don't we this? This was against you.
Fran is,
I know that you were trying to put me in a hole, and you don't put baby in a hole. I can say what I want.
Fran was also correct. I'm not gonna like backtrack and be like, oh, I was just. I'm also interested in the things that
I just wanted three different things than he said, but were also true.
And I think you're totally accurate.
It's like things that Brad watches: Family Guy, American Dad.
That's it. You finished it.
That's it.
Big Mouth.
No, you don't watch that.
You watched it.
Trailer Park Boys.
Okay. Not really.
Not anymore.
It's the most binge watched thing.
Say you like the Netflix stuff better than you like the Showcase stuff, or else you're not a real fan.
It's impossible.
Say it.
No.
Okay, you don't like Trailer Park Boys then.
Yeah, you're not really a fan.
Like, I like the Showcase stuff better?
Say you hate Trailer Park Boys.
Or I'm not a fan.
Or you're not a fan.
Tell everyone you hate it or you don't like it. I would really like to see...
See, really, what I think is really lacking in the market is a solid adult cartoon, perhaps one that's even made in Western Canada. I feel like that is something that
we've got lots.
The market really is fucking crying for it, and I wish someone would just do something about it.
We've got lots. We've got Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol, Paw Patrol, we're gonna fuck you with a Paw Patrol.
Ostrich 1. Ostrich 2. We're
the Paw Patrol. We're the Ostrich Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol. We're a bunch of ostriches. We're the Paw Patrol.
Gosh, ostriches don't have paws.
Yeah,
I think you'd be sadly mistaken if I don't.
There's some always tired ostriches that are watching this podcast right now. They're like, "Fuck you." You're right. They're not paws. What are they even?
Talons?
It's got to be a talon's gonna be hooked up to something. Feet? What the fuck do birds have?
Talons.
Yeah, but that's the claw part, not the finger part.
I guess feet. Yeah, feet.
Feet? Do birds have feet? What?
Well, birds are like dinosaurs.
Yeah, but what do they have? What do the dinosaurs have?
Yes, what do dinosaurs have?
Do they have feet? Dinosaurs have feet.
Do birds have feet? Is that what they're called?
Is talon the correct word to refer to
Well,
the
that's
whole...
like the claw part, right? Like, not the finger part.
We're talking to our producer, Kevin. Sorry, Kevin, do they have claws? Or...
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, but it's like, but the claw is the nail part, right?
I don't know what it's called.
I don't fucking know, but you're right. Like, do chickens have large talons?
Anyway, our friend, our producer...
That's a line. That's
Our
that's a line
producer,
from the
our
boy.
producer Kevin really likes dinosaurs.
He actually worked in.
Accurate.
Excuse me, I didn't mean to assume any genders. They worked with a museum of sorts that
A center.
specializes
Facility.
in prehistoric animals,
You have a persona now too.
reptiles.
Creatures.
Welcome to the fray,
Kevin.
Kevin.
Now, how much time do we have?
About 15 minutes.
Okay, Andrew, I want you to go through your favorite line, season 1 to 3 of House of Cards that Kevin Spacey said. Go.
What?
Your favorite line from each of the first 3 seasons.
There's one right answer to this, and it's not even a line.
No.
Well,
a line.
Not
best-
vocal.
I want one line from the first 3 each.
No,
Season.
just one line.
The best line is when at the very end of the second season when he goes
Yeah.
on the table.
No,
that.
I want a vocal line. I want a piece of dialogue from one from
Everything.
each
Or
of
the
the first
one that I thought was really interesting was everything's about sex except for sex. That's about power.
Okay.
I got season 1.
What about when he says, "I'm fucking my bodyguard, and I'm going to kill you on a train track"? What about that one?
Yeah, he does really enunciate his consonants at the end of words. That's very much his style.
I'll have you killed, you son of a bitch.
I don't know. I can't really think of any remarkable lines. Specifically, it's more like scenes. I don't really remember specific lines, but
Here's an amazing thing
Or like-
that I am so proud of. 3-4 years ago when I was like watching Trailer Park Boys like just fucking steady. When I first got Netflix on my phone.
and we're driving everywhere.
I was out spraying in Shaunavon.
Yeah.
And on the Eagle they were giving away tickets for Trailer Park Boys Live somewhere in Calgary maybe, or I don't know, anyway. They played a sound clip from the show, and they said, call in if you know what character said this line. And I was able to identify. They wouldn't let me win because my buddy Cam was the radio DJ, and he's like, I'm not giving the tickets to you because it's going to look bad. I identified the character, the season, the episode, and within a 1 minute and 30-second window when that scene took place.
That's not good.
That's impressive.
I was like, yeah, that's season 3, episode 9, and it happens like between the first 4 minutes and 30 seconds and like 5 minutes and 20
And
seconds.
it wasn't like someone obvious like Leahy or Ricky, right? Like it was.
No, it was very obvious because it's just like
Oh, okay.
it was either Julian, Ricky, or Bubbles.
That is crazy. I don't think I could do that with anything. No. Oh, maybe with Lord of the Rings.
I'm pretty good with South Park references. I could probably do it with South Park, with the first 10 seasons of South Park especially. Well, first 12 seasons of South Park.
I don't think I could even do it with American Dad and Family Guy.
I remember when you asked me how many lines of dialogue were spoken in the Fellowship, and I actually started to like play the movie in my head and start counting lines of dialogue.
Oh, top them up
If you wouldn't mind,
Nope.
seeing as you talk yourself up.
Fill
Just
them
a half. Just
Fill
a
them
half.
up. Fill them up.
Or what was the big one? And I didn't know, but it was really cool. It was how many times does Legolas talk to Gandalf?
Who doesn't talk to who in the Fellowship?
Legolas is the one who never talks to Gandalf. I don't think he talks to him in any of the movies. That was the
Like they never directly.
That was the
speak to
whole
each
thing.
other.
Is that that was the
Lego,
one that
Lego Man?
Lego Man never talks to
Gandalf.
Gandman
At all.
ever. I don't think. I think that was the one we were like, that's kind of crazy that he never speaks to him. But he's all upset about it and fucking Merc or LaFlorian.
Yeah.
Fucking prick poser. Never even knew that.
Would you rather be a piece of soap in a sea of shit, or a piece of shit in a sea of soap? Or a tub. Sorry, a tub.
I'd rather be...
A piece of shit in a tub of soap, or
I'm already a piece of shit, so I guess I'd like to be in a tub of soap. Who would be able to holiday easier?
Piece of shit.
piece of shit. So you'd rather your surroundings be nice than you be the...
I am a
What are we
piece of
talking? Are we
soap
talking
in
a
a tub of
figurative
shit.
piece of shit, or are we talking a fucking
A literal.
an actual piece
a literal,
of shit?
a literal piece of shit in a literal tub of soap, or
Then you're not sentient other ways. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's just like
you are sentient. in
one
this.
thing I know about like human beings, anyways, is like a human being that's super smelly and stinky and awful. They don't know that.
I love how they're stinky and smelly and awful.
Yeah.
These three things go hand in hand in hand.
If you're smelly and stinky, you're also not good. But like smelly and stinky people, like they don't know they're smelly and stinky. Like I ran into lots of smelly and stinky people in my life that it's like they just aren't, because you get so acute, you get so used to your own smells. That's the thing. If you're a piece of shit in a bunch of soap, you'd be a piece of shit that you're like, whatever, I don't care, I know what I smell like. But then you'd be like, man, does it smell good? Everything smells great.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah. But it's like if you're soap and a sea of shit,
I'll have to agree.
then you'd be like, this smells awful. And this feels not good. And I'm really dirty. Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather? Would you rather date?
Fucking guy.
Would you rather date for a significant period of time our virtuous pedophile,
Jesus Christ.
or have to blow
I would
Conan
not-
O'Brien for at least 5 minutes in the interim under his desk for every episode?
I respect virtuous pedophiles.
Yeah, so do I. I'm just saying, would you rather date him or blow Conan for
I don't.
5 minutes?
Oh, that
for every
specific
episode?
guy.
Yeah.
Is the virtuous pedophile hot?
No,
That
it's-
guy.
That specific guy.
No,
who's missing
fuck
the
no.
arm.
Blow Conan O'Brien.
But like, date doesn't imply any sex, so I'm gonna say date.
And like you have to blow Conan every episode for at least 5 minutes under the desk.
How long do I?
What do you mean?
How long do I have to
forever.
date? How long do I have to date that guy?
Till it gets pretty serious. You guys are interested, but not too invested.
I'll date because there's no sex implied there. I'll date the virtuous.
Also, I don't know how
pedophile.
long Conan's gonna go for.
No, just 5 minutes. Like
No,
if
but
you-
I'm saying if I have to do it every episode,
how long is the show going to
that's
air?
what it's like. I don't fucking know. It's like I don't want to be caught on the hook for giving blowjobs until I'm fucking 40.
But the other thing is, you get to be at the Conan O'Brien set.
Do people know that you're there?
I don't give a fuck if I'm on the set.
That's cool.
No, it's not.
Like, you-
I don't give a shit.
Do you get a credit for it? Like, are you like
Am I the
blowjob
fluffer?
blowjob slave at the end of
Just
every
fluffer.
fucking?
I do like Conan. Does Conan like me?
Oh yeah.
He has,
probably-
he
Can
doesn't
we hang
respect
out?
you
Can we hang out?
after the show.
You guys can do you're not going to his house, you're not going out for supper, but you can do craft services like 10 or 15 minutes
Not
craft
worth
services.
it. No, that's not.
Oh,
worth
he's
it.
not that awesome of a guy.
No, I would like to hang out with him and talk to him because I think he's funny. But I mean, like, if it's like this weird, I'm just kind of a sex slave thing. I don't like it.
No, this
No,
is
I date the dude with one arm.
the producers have set this up. You're not his sex slave. He's
Whatever.
not like get under there. He's like part of the contract.
It's part of it's like the
No,
challenge.
but I'm
of,
just
like,
saying it's like this, like no, like what, like I said, I don't want to be in the hook for giving blowjobs till I'm fucking 40. So it's like no, I'm dating the fucking guy. I'll date the fucking one-armed
do you,
virtuous
now,
pedophile for a year.
Other
or whatever.
question: do you have to swallow, or can you spit?
Well, he's Irish. You can spit.
Okay,
So rather like
I'll still date the pedophile.
giving blowjobs to Conan O'Brien till I'm 40. That's the better alternative here.
That's not even like a question. I'll
Like,
date,
you
I'll,
gotta think now.
I'll date the virtuous pedophile.
I'm dating a virtuous pedophile for a year, or I'm
Not a
giving Conan
year.
O'Brien
Things have got to
blowjobs
get
for
serious.
40
He's
years.
slow. He's
That's
not,
the one. Really?
Like you can cheat, but you can cheat on someone.
I guess
while
I'm
you're
giving
dating
Conan
them.
O'Brien blowjobs till I'm 40.
Like you're not like because like dating, like you can cheat on him. Plus, you don't ever have to actually have sex with him. So date.
Ah, that's
100%.
not dating.
Absolutely, it is.
No, it's not.
So asexual people can't date,
No, but you aren't asexual.
but he kind of is.
No, he's not. He's attracted to children. He's not asexual.
Like I'm just about the furthest thing you can get to a small child.
We shave
So-
your face.
Even then,
We
Also, and we cover you in butter.
Why butter?
Melted butter.
What is that? Whatever. I don't know. Sure, we're covering you in butter.
Well, I still would date the pedophile before I have to give Conan a blowjob.
I guess it's like...
Every episode.
But I mean...
Like, how many episodes are there
That's
a
the
year?
thing, we don't know. And we don't know how long this motherfucker's going for. He doesn't want to quit.
Is it weekly? It's weekly. Right?
It might be every day.
God, he has a lot.
It might be every day.
Like, you're talking at least once a week.
Then you have to... Where does he do that from? San Francisco?
New York, I think.
Oh, New York. So then you have to move to...
No, he's not New York. He's the LA one. Fuck, I don't know. I'm talking about that.
Wherever. You have to move somewhere. Because I can't be flying in once a week.
Okay, so...
That's the other part. Like, even if you don't have to pay for it, you still have to fly.
I'm assuming he's paying for the flight.
Like, maybe if he flies me private.
If he gets the privilege of my tonsils.
If I get to fly out private jet every time to blow Conan, maybe I'll blow Conan.
The private jet would be a nice perk.
Yeah.
Can the private jet be a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing the private jet in the Conan.
So I get private jet plus 5-star accommodation for the night.
Oh, now you're adding stuff. Now you're adding.
Well, like,
yeah, sure, why not?
That's a reasonable
Higher
thing.
end 4-star. I'm not giving you 5-star accommodation.
Okay, if I get the private jet both
What is
ways,
a 5-star?
I'll blow
Have you ever
Conan.
stayed in a 5-star?
Anal gives you 5-star accommodations.
Like him fucking me?
Yeah.
So I go from a 4 to a 5-star for like, if someone's gonna take my flower, I'm gonna get something way better than that.
Your flower. That's
It's an ugly flower.
this is there's what do they call it?
Uh-oh.
When you kill Andrew.
Oh god,
I
went
know
the
he'd
wrong
go
way.
down
That went
eventually.
Oh, ow, that sucked.
There's what do they call it? There's landmarks, hallmarks. There's in a person's life. There's
Milestones.
milestones. Sorry, yes. There's milestones in a person's life. It's like you graduate, you get a license, all that bullshit. I just heard Andrew refer to his butthole as his flower.
It was a reference to to Friends, by the way.
But I like it. That's not. It could
You
be
still
referencing.
called your
You still
flower
called your
butthole a
butthole a flower, and this is a milestone in my life.
No, I referred to my anal virginity as a flower,
Like
as a reference to Friends. Thank you very much.
We've talked about 23 as it's this garbage year because it's not like you don't get anything. There's no like perks. I got to hear my business partner refer to his butthole as a flower.
Not my butthole, my anal virginity.
No, your butthole.
I said take my flower.
Take your butthole, you just said.
Take my anal
Potato,
virginity.
potato, motherfucker.
Well, clearly we don't have any Friends fans here, so that's fine.
It's true. I compared to Friends fans, I'm nothing. Like I've met people who like Friends, and it's fucking. Some people's knowledge of Friends is
I like it.
scary.
The only reason I know it even remotely as well as I do is because my sister fucking loves Friends. So that's the only reason why.
Russell Green is a guy who like. It's scary his knowledge of Friends.
Would you rather the only screen-based entertainment that you're able to watch is Friends
No.
for the rest of your life? From now on, all you can watch is Friends. That's it. Including books. You can't read.
Can you read novelizations of episodes?
I would never read. I don't read.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to close that loophole.
Can
as
you
well.
read novelizations of episodes?
You could read scripts, yeah. Would you rather that?
Friends is a long show. It's a good show.
I'll take it. I'll take Friends.
I was gonna say I don't know what the alternative's gonna be.
Or,
The Friends sound pretty good.
okay, well then, fuck it. The alternative doesn't matter then. Never mind.
Well, you could put like Lord of the Rings in it, and that would sweeten the deal for me. But I would choose Lord of the Rings in that case.
I'd have to take Friends just because there's more content.
That hurts me.
There's a lot of
There's a lot of
content.
bonus features, man.
There's
There is
so-
more content in Friends for sure. I understand this, like all the Lord of the Rings stuff. And I mean, we're including The Hobbit, and like there's a lot of bonus features.
Okay, so watch Friends, plus you get to use the internet, but you can't watch any other content on it, but you can use the internet.
Like no adult entertainment either. You gotta jerk it to Friends,
You can watch porn, but it can't be any porn parodies of anything.
except for Friends.
Except for porn parodies of Friends, yeah.
Or you have to watch porn.
That'd be
parodies of
on.
Friends.
Yes, no, there you go. You have to watch porn parodies of Friends. There you go. If they exist, which I'm sure they do.
Okay, they exist. So that
Okay.
might be most of the most of it.
But you still get access. But you still get access to the like. You can like.
Ouch.
We'll say you can read like you use Wikipedia, like use the internet, or you can watch whatever you want, but you can't do so on the internet.
No, I have to use the
No
internet.
internet.
Wikipedia is the most important thing in my life.
What are we talking about now? Internet or what?
Oh, sorry. I meant friends plus no internet,
Fuck.
or internet, but you can't watch. You can't consume any video content whatsoever.
Internet. Yeah, I was gonna say, fuck that. Friends with no internet. The hell? Where's the benefit there?
Well, you get to at least watch something. You can there's no video content, no video. It's a magical thing where you world where you can't. None of the
Basically, you're
videos
blind.
play. No, you're not blind, but it's just like you can't. Every time you go to play a video, it says buffering and it just never plays.
Okay.
Including DVDs. DVDs are always scratched and won't work.
I'll do the internet because I guess I'd have to get really into reading.
Okay. Would you rather
Eat a
We
dick.
gotta finish our drinks.
Would you rather I'm trying to think. I have a good one, but I can't think of an alternative. It's gonna be a positive one, which I don't do very often.
Would you rather eat a dick and sit on a cake, or eat a cake and sit on a dick? We already did that one. It's like one of the early ones. I'm just kidding. We already answered it probably more than once.
Yeah.
Get 25 grand,
Just that's it.
or get to live in the world of Dazed and Confused.
In
25
the
grand.
In the world of
Why the fuck would you want to live in the world of Days
I
Confused?
love Dazed and Confused. I was trying to think of two worlds, but I can't.
You
think
can't live there. You don't have a cell phone. You don't have internet.
No, I would still love it. It would be just amazing.
You're saying like start your life as if you were
I'm
one.
so confused.
Do I?
What is appealing?
What do you mean the world of the world of Dazed and Confused? Is this like some hellish world where I relive the same fucking day over and over and over?
No.
You get
The
to go in
era
your
with the
universe.
same types of friends and like the.
Do I get to pick which person in the group that I am?
Well, you get to be your own guy and hang out with all of them.
Okay,
You
yeah.
can be as cool as you want.
Absolutely, I take that.
Yeah.
No, it's 25 grand. You people are insane.
No, I would.
You still grow up to get to experience the internet.
Yeah, when you're fucking 40 or 50.
30.
Oh, but I
No
just
way.
like it's so awesome.
It's the
Yeah,
80s.
30 when you're fucking like.
No, wait, sorry, no, it's the 70s. Yeah, you're right. You're 40. Yeah, never mind.
It's close. It'd be like late 70s.
Whatever, you're old as shit. That's awful. What? No, doesn't make any sense. 25 grand. What are you talking about?
I just like the Dazed and Confused universe is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Like if you
It's
asked Dallas,
incredible.
he would give up everything to live
I
in
don't.
the Dazed and
Why?
Confused
I don't
universe.
even know. Like, why is it amazing?
It's so
It's
awesome.
like a
You
normal
get all,
thing.
You get all the best music.
all the best people.
That's not true.
You grow up with you get to see the rise of and go
You
and
don't
see
have
all
any
these
fucking
concerts.
clothes on. Like no wonder you don't like the Dazed and Confused universe.
I do. It's a good movie.
Brad, did you see Everybody Wants Some?
No.
That's like the. Yeah, you did. And that's like the spiritual success.
Spirit-
With the baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see it.
It was so good.
It is a very
It
good
was
movie.
way better than I expected it to be.
It's very. It feels very the same. Like it feels
Without just being a blatant.
No, it feels like a
Yeah.
good like continuation. Like it feels like it should be. It's like the Blade Runner sequel. It's like it doesn't feel like a cheap sequel. It feels like a natural
very well
continuation.
thought out. Yeah.
Okay, we gotta drink these drinks because I think we're 5 minutes over now.
We'd like to thank our producer Kevin for today's episode.
Setting up this wonderful little display you see here.
Thank you to City Skylines for sponsoring today's episode.
Mario Odyssey for also sponsoring.
yeah,
Nintendo for sponsoring today's episode.
And as always,
Nintendo. This was contractually obligated by Nintendo.
He only wore this because of Nintendo. He's got the Mario mustache.
The mustaches. That's.
And as always, we'd like to thank
Mario.
our main sponsor, Sweet Sippin' Canadian Maple Whiskey.
We miss you so
Better
much.
on Halloween.
Better on Halloween than it is at New Year's.
We miss you so much.
Today's episode, of course, brought to you by Sweet Sippin' Canadian Maple Whiskey.
Better
on
thanks.
Halloween than it is at New Year's.
What? What was the old line?
Better
at Christmas
than
than
it is at Thanksgiving.
I don't know. I said
Oh,
it about 50 times.
It's true. I guess it changed a little bit. No, but it
There's
was
a little
better
bit
Christmas
left.
than it is Thanksgiving.
There's a little bit left.
There is. That is kind of weird.
Ooh, that's just mold. That's just fucking straight.
No,
it's
it
liquor. It's alcohol.
No, it
Mold.
looks yeah
But
pure.
it'll be sugar. It's sugar. That will be moldy as fuck.
No,
This is
hold on.
valuable. We might
I'm gonna smell it.
need to keep this so they can.
Get the recipe.
Well, it's what do they call it?
All the
The
ingredients.
genetic.
Oh,
Material.
it still smells so good.
Like hundreds of years from now, similarly to how they recreated dinosaurs in the Jurassic Park universe,
And how they're doing it now.
they'll okay. Listen,
Right,
listen to
Kevin?
this. Kevin,
They're remaking dinosaurs right now.
we know what's
Kevin?
happening at the center. We saw it.
Beneath the center.
But no, listen to this. It's like they'll take this bottle, they'll flip it up like this, and they'll have a syringe.
They'll drill it through the.
But they'll have a syringe that's in another syringe for some reason, and then pull it through the one syringe, and then pull it through the next syringe, and then you'll have a Mexican miner that looks at it and he says, "Golinde," and then it'll cut to a scene with an old man with a beard, and he has it frozen on a walking stick. Golinde.
Anyway, thanks you guys for tuning in. Happy Spookalicious.
Happy spooky time. I am a pirate. This is non-binary, sexy witch, and this is Freddie Mercury, the Gladiator.
Who did I say originally? Ian.
No, it was funny. Ian McDermott. That was very funny.
Yeah.
Who is Ian McDermott?
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll talk to you later.
McDermott.
Yep.